Hello, students. It's me, Miss Elliott, your teacher. Just wanted to start off today's lesson with saying that I hope you're being very well behaved and representing me well to the substitute. Remember, you are a student in my classroom, so when I am not there, how you behave is a direct reflection on me. So you have the choice today to show the substitute that I'm a terrible teacher, or you can show the substitute that I'm your favorite teacher and that you enjoy coming to class and that you want to represent me well. The choice is yours. So, with that said, what are we learning about today? Today, we are learning about how to calculate fractional distance on both a number line and a coordinate plane. We have actually done fractional distance on a number line already. We've already done fractional distance on a number line, and so that part will be review. But what's new is fractional distance on a coordinate plane. We haven't done that before. And so what do I mean by fractional distance? So I'm going to start off today's lesson with just a little story, all right? So here we have a map of the Dallas Metroplex, okay? And so my really good friend from high school, she used to live in Rowlett, and I live here in Louisville. And so she had a baby, and I wanted to meet her baby. And so we said, we got to meet in a place that's halfway between Louisville and Rowlett. And so if we draw a line between Louisville and Rowlett, what city would you say is about halfway? I would say that this point right here is the halfway point, somewhere between Addison and Richardson. And so we're going to learn how to do that on a coordinate plane, on a number line, and how to find other distances other than halfway. What if we wanted to meet 2/3 of the way? What if I wanted to meet 2/3 of the way somewhere closer to her because she just had a baby, right? So I'll come closer to you and you just have to come 1/3 of the way. So that is what fractional distance is. That is what we're doing today. So let's get started. We're going to start with the number lines because they're easier. And then after we do the number lines, we'll move forward to the coordinate planes. So it is going to be on you to be paying attention to what problem we're doing because we're going to jump all around the piece of paper that your wonderful sub gave you. Okay? So let's get our notes out. Write your name on your notes and let's get started. So we're going to start with number 2 because that's on the number line. It says, what is the coordinate of the point? Coordinate means what is its location? What is its number? What is the coordinate of the point that is 3/7 of the distance from point P to point N? So I'm going to review the steps. We've done this before. Step 1, find the total distance. To find the total distance, we can simply count. Boop, 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 but we don't have any tick marks, so it's going to be a little harder to count. So what we're going to do is we're going to subtract big number minus smaller number. 16 minus 2, which is 14. So step 1, we subtract. Step 2, we're going to multiply. What is 14 times 3/7? I know this one off the top of my head. I know that 14 times 3/7, you can put it in your calculator, is 6. 6 units to be exact. And so now I'm going to erase this business right here. And step 3 is we add or subtract. So we're going to take or we count. There's another way to think about it. You can count or add or subtract. So instead of going from 2, the whole 14 units, all the way over to 16, we just want to go over how many units? Hopefully you said 6 units. So we're going to start at 2 and we're going to go over 6 units plus 6 units. And so what is 2 plus 6? Well, that would be 8. And 8 is our final answer. We're not going to put units here Okay, we're not going to put units here. That would be wrong because 8 is this coordinate. It's the location. All right, so our answer is 8. All right, let's do the next number line problem and see if we can remember our steps. Notice I didn't write the steps down. I'll come do that as our last thing before we move on to the coordinate plane. So here, number 3, it says, what is the coordinate of the point that is 2/11ths of the distance from point I to point T? So first step, we're going to find the total distance. What is 60 minus 5? Well, 60 minus 5 is 55. So step 1, total distance. Subtract. Step 2, what is step 2, y'all? Shout it out so the sub knows you're smart. All right, step 2, we're going to multiply. So 55 times 2/11ths. 55 times 2/11ths should be 22, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to use my handy dandy calculator if it would load. So let's see about that. Okay. Lecrae, we don't need you right now. We need the calculator. Okay, it was tripping. Y'all saw that. Okay, 55 times 2/11ths. Well, I was dead wrong. It's not 22. It's 10. So you see, that's why we use our calculators. It's 10. Boop, 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 10. And now we're going to take our number and we're going to count or add or subtract. So we don't want to go from 5, all 55 units, over to 60. We just want to go 2/11ths of the way. So we're going to go from 5 and we're going to go over 10 units plus 10 units. And where will we land? 5 plus 10, we will land at 15. And so our answer, the coordinate of the 2/11ths point, is 15. All right, flip your paper over. So this is, we're not going to do number 5. Oops, 6. It looks like all of these are coordinate plane problems. So they're all a little bit tougher. So let's go back to number 2 and write our steps. All right? Because the steps on a coordinate plane are going to be very similar. A little different, but very similar. So step 1, total distance. Step 2, multiply. Step 3, notice I've been saying add or subtract. Sometimes we have to subtract. We have to be very careful about that. Add or subtract / count. And that will tell you where the coordinate is. So how do we do that on a number plane, on a coordinate plane? Well, basically we do all these steps, but we do it 2 times. We do it once for the x-axis, and then we do it once for the y-axis. So let's try it out. Well, I'm silly, aren't I? All of these are on a number line, so to speak, but it's okay. Here, we have a straight line. I didn't notice that. Obviously, I haven't seen these notes in like years. We normally don't get to do them, so thanks for being patient with me. But yeah, here we have a number line. Let's find the coordinate of the point that is 2 thirds of the distance from A to N. So we're just going to do these steps because it's a straight line. Whenever it's slanted, that's when we have to do it 2 times, okay? But if it's a straight line, you can just do steps 1 through 3 and you'll get there. All right, let's try it out. I'm sure you want to try it on your own, but you know, I'm not there to give you a sticker, so we're just going to do it all together. So, A is at the coordinate -4, and M is at the coordinate 2. So our total distance is 6. And so step 2, we multiply 6 times our fraction, 2/3. Now, I do know what that is without a calculator. I do know some math. 6 times 2/3 is 4 units. And now step 3, we're going to count or add -4 plus 4 is going to land us right here. 6 or -4 plus 4 equals 0. 0 is not our complete answer because now we are on a coordinate grid. So what is the coordinate of this point? So the coordinate of this point is 0, 2. Over 0, up 2. And that is our final answer. Boop. Bada bing, bada boom. We did one on a coordinate grid, but it was a simple one. Let's try out number 4. Boop, boop, boop. What is the coordinate of the point that is 3/5 of the distance from point B to point Y? So we start at point B, which is at -3, up 8. So let's put that point right here. -3, so over 3, and then up 8, and that is point B. We do have to label it. That's required. Make sure you put the B. And point Y, which is at -3, -2. Interesting. So here's point Y. I'm going to connect these points. We do have a straight line, so it is very similar to a number line. But now, what way is our segment oriented? Is our segment oriented horizontally or vertically? Hopefully you shouted out vertical. So because it's vertical, the coordinates that we're going to be paying attention to are going to be these Y coordinates, the coordinates on the Y-axis. So step 1, what's the distance between 8 and -2? It's not 6. Please don't say 6. The distance between 8 and -2 is 10. Step 2, we multiply 10 times 3/5. This one I also can do without a calculator, but maybe you need yours. Let's try it out. 10 times 3/5 is 6. And we have our last step is to add or subtract. Now, here's where we're going to be careful. We know we want to go from B to Y. So we're going to start at B, and we're going to go down 6 units towards Y. So if we're going down, are we adding or subtracting? Yeah, we're subtracting. So we're going to start at 8, and we're going to subtract 6. And where do we land? We land at 2. But is 2 our final answer? Absolutely not, because we are on a coordinate plane, and we want to know the location of this point on the coordinate plane. Who can tell me the location of this point? Hopefully you said that that point is at the coordinate -3, 2. And that is our final answer. All right. Now we can flip our paper. Flip your paper. Flip your paper. Let's try it out. All right. Haven't done this in a long time, but I have faith in us. So, we got Kate's house, we got Ben's house. And what is the coordinate of the point that is 3/4 of the distance from Ben's house to Kate's house? I love this question. Here's why I love this question. It's because Ben is obviously being a gentleman. He said, you know what, Kate, we got this science project that we have to do together. We don't have to meet halfway, which is about right here. We can meet 3/4 of the way, 3/4 of the way, because I just want to be a gentleman. I'll come closer to you, Kate. So that's nice. I love to see it. So what's our step 1? Who remembers? Hopefully you said step 1 is find the total distance. Now there's a couple of ways we can do this. We could find the total distance using the distance formula, but I promise you that would not help us. So what we are going to do is we're going to count our difference in x and we're going to count our difference in y's. So let's just do this one with counting before I show you how to do it with the coordinates, okay? So I do want a slightly thicker pen, all right? So the difference in x's, and then we have the difference in y's. I know that looks a little backwards, but just trust me. So to get from this x, which is at -2, to this x, which is at +6, how many spaces are in between? Hopefully you said 8. And to get from this y, which is at -4, to this y, which is at +4, there are 8 spaces in between. Are these numbers always going to be the same? Absolutely not. Okay, this is just an interesting coinky-dink. All right, step 1, total distance. What's step 2? Multiply. So 8 times 3/4, 8 times 3/4. Obviously, we don't have to do this twice. Once we've done it once, we've done it both times, which is 6. And so what does that mean? Our last step is to count or add or subtract. So we got to be very careful because sometimes we add and sometimes we subtract. Sometimes we add and subtract. Sometimes we have to do both. Sometimes we have to just do one or a combination. I'm not going to edit that out because I don't know how. But it's advisory time. I got about 15 more minutes. Let's keep going. So I'm going to start at Ben's house. And now instead of going all the way down, all 8 units, we're just going to go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And instead of going all the way over 8 units, we're just going to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And that is where Ben is going to meet Kate. Ben is going to meet Kate at what point? What's the coordinate location of that point? Hopefully you said that that point is at 0, -2. And that is our final answer. So we just have 3 more problems that we're going to do together before you get to try this out on your own and practice. So let's try out this next one. This next one, they drew a triangle for us, which is so helpful, and you'll see why. What is the coordinate of the point that is 2/3 of the distance from A to T? So we're starting at A and we're going to T. All right, but we're not going to go the whole way. We're just going to go 2/3 of the way, somewhere around this area. But we need to find the exact spot. So to do that, we're going to follow our steps. Step 1, total distance. Distance in X and distance in Y. Our distance in X should be, looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I hate that. But it is 8. All right. And our distance in Y's is 6, which is quite nice. So step 1, total distance. Done. Step 2, what is step 2, y'all? Yep, step 2, we multiply. Someone probably just discovered why I said, hate that. Why do I not like the 8? Because 8 times 2/3 is a fraction. Ill, disgusting. But that's okay. We got this. Let me use my calculator. 8 times 2/3 is going to be 5.3 repeating, or 5 1/3. But what is 6 times 2/3? 6 times 2/3 is a very pretty number. It is 4. So, step 1, total distance. Step 2, multiply. Step 3, we are going to count or add or subtract. So let's go ahead and count. I need to go over from A to T, not all units, but I have to go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a third. Right here. And then I need to go up, not all units, but I need to go up 4 units. So from here, up 4 is 1, 2, 3, boom, 4. So let's plot our point. It's right here. What's the coordinate of that point? What it looks like, the coordinate of that point is 6.3 repeating, comma, 7. And that's our final answer. 6 1/3, comma, 7. I know that was kind of yucky, but we made it through. Oh, what am I missing? Bloop, parentheses. All right, this notes video is getting kind of long. Let's wrap it up. Oh, this one's pretty easy. What is the coordinate that is 1/2 of the distance from the mess hall to the cabins? 1/2 of the distance. This one, I'm just gonna eyeball because y'all know how to use your midpoint formula. And so it looks like I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. I go over 10 and up 4. So if I want to go halfway, I just need to go over 5 and up 2. And there's the midpoint. The midpoint is at 1, 1. Whew, not too bad. Here's our last problem before you get to try it out on your own, which I am going to give you a little bit of help, okay? I'm going to do one problem with you, but let's try out this. Let's do this last one together. What is the coordinate of the point that is 1/3 of the distance from I to N? So we start at I, and then we go down and to the right to get to N. So let's review our steps. Step 1, total distance. Well, this one's pretty easy. Our total distance here is 12. Our difference in y's is 12. Our difference in x's is 9. What is step 2, y'all? Multiply. What is our fraction? Oh, yeah, I didn't even read this problem because I was ready to wrap it up. 1/3. So 12 times 1/3 should be 4. And 9 times 1/3 is 3. So what does this mean we need to do? It means we need to start at I and go down 4 over 3. And we will land at this coordinate right here. And that coordinate is our final answer. That coordinate is 3, 8. Great. So, what's your exit ticket for today? What is your practice? Your practice is to do fractional distance. I'm going to skip 1 through 3 because they're all midpoint. Super easy. You can use your midpoint formula to do 1 through 3. But then you get through 2, 4 through yada, 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 the rest of the questions. And you're going to have to use some graph paper. So I'm going to do number 4 on the practice with you. So usually right about now, your substitute teacher should be passing out the practice, or the classroom helper should be passing out the practice right about now. If you need to pause the video until everyone has the practice in their hand, please do that. You're also going to need graph paper. There's graph paper up in the hanging thing by the door. And I also printed some graph paper out. So get what you need to be successful. Do that now. So this is your practice. Distance on the coordinate plane. Coloring. You get to color. Yay! But we're going to do number 4. You have points A and points B. Point A is at the point 3, 2. Let me put that on my graph paper. 3 up 2. That's point A. I'm going to label it. And point B is at the point 8, 7. 8, 7. So, up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Here's B. I need to find the point that is 2/5 of the distance from A to B. And this is going to be beautiful. So, the difference in x's is 5. The difference in y's is 5. Total distance. Step 2, we multiply. We're going to multiply times 2/5. 5 times 2/5 is 2. 5 times 2/5 is still 2. So what does that mean we need to do? It means we need to start at A and go up 2 over 2. Over 2, up 2. Because it says from A to B. So if we go over 2, up 2, we land right here. And what is the coordinate of that point? It appears to be 5, 4. 5, 4. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to select, pink. So what does that mean? It means everywhere you see a 4 on the coloring page, you're going to color it pink. So here's our coloring page. I'm going to look for my 4s and I'm going to color them pink. That's the only 4 I see. So that is how you do your practice. Please do the best that you can. Please work hard and use your time diligently. I'm going to miss you a ton, but I'm also going to have a ton of fun at my conference today. So wishing you the best of luck. This is for a grade. The coloring is optional, but it is bonus points if you do it. But yeah, I adore y'all, and I'll see you on Monday. Peace out.